Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this new series of Imperator Rome Invictus here on the Lord Master channel, as I play as the Kingdom of Saba, the Sabaean Kingdom in South Arabia in modern-day Yemen. It's where it's largely the series would largely take place in, as this is the second episode of it. In which, in the first episode that I did way better than I originally practiced for, what was to come for this new video series. In which now I feel like, well, there's still a lot of work to do, but I'm still pretty excited of what's to come further down the line for the mission tree for Saba. So in the first episode we conquered Qataba, and then we entered into the land of Punt proper, and then it expanded this way to a part of Bavaria, into Marseillon, in which our mission tree is going to take us to Macrobia. Control Macrobia. So the coast of the land of Punt will be a valuable addition to Sabaean possessions for many reasons. Let us not delay and take it to reach it for ourselves. So either we or our subjects own all the highlighted province on the Macrobian coast, as you can see the green highlighted there on the map. That is what we need to take and colonize in some parts for the areas that are empty. And completing that, we gain 200 gold, and Macrobian citizens will appear in a few areas, including a few of our Sabaean citizens will appear in Malak. So that would be excellent, for the most part. And then after that, then we look to see what will happen to Socotra and Dragonblood Island, and working more on these areas. This would be in large part of this other way, and this is going to be our early focus is to focus on ourselves rather than what may happen in a coming conflict with Hadramut, who is threatening to break an alliance with us, which I wouldn't blame them, because I view them as a competitive power, before we turn our attention north to reabsorb me. So, merchants travel far and wide to visit our markets, and our coastal regions have the potential to become a trade hub. That will be another focus. And since we've earned 500 gold upon completing the Incense and Myrrh task, because we controlled a good portion of the incense, myrrh, and spices. But we need more of that. And to get started with that, we're going to build 2 more cities. There's already one in Adan. Okelis and Mosa Emporion will be those 2 cities that needs to be built. And then after that's done, each of these cities needs to have 3 ports and 3 commercial district buildings. Yes. All 3 of those things. Which means that's going to require some room to get the population increased for each and every one of these, which could mean I will most likely use this free province investment for more local city building slots here, unless the population continues to increase, and then this adds more building slots. That's the way to do it. And then after that, we have to dominate the market, which we need to control at least 60% of the incense, myrrh, and spice production in the Punt and Arabia Felix regions. We control 12 out of 22. And the best way to do that is to basically do what we mentioned earlier. Continue to expand upon this way. All parts of Arabia Felix and Punt. All that. But as you know, spices, it's almost like there's nowhere to be found except over there. And there. Oh, and down there too. Now for incense, well, that's pretty easy. They're all over the place in a few different areas, including those parts there. And the myrrh. Where do you get the myrrh? Well, there's one here, and a few there, and there. Yeah, there's a couple out there. And of course, one way out yonder. But I didn't pay attention. Were there any incense further inland? Not much. Okay, what about spices? Further inland? Nope, you have to go further into... I believe that's Upper Nubia. But the focus is Arabia Felix and Punt. Give me a moment. Take a drink. It's water, mind you. Now, recently, after completing our recent task, we've earned 500 gold. And what to do with that gold? Build the cities. Especially here in Oculus, because this area is a level 2 regional center of trade. So a city needs to be built here. It'll cost you 200 gold and 50 political influence. Do it as the mission says. And same for Musa and Perion. And then we got one more thing to spend, and there's this other part of this task. That is to expand the irrigation network. Because we do have a farming settlement there, but not this one. This needs it. So we basically spent a fortune for all this. And it's gonna, you know, take some time with this. And in the meantime, actually put that over there in the port of Haddad. That's gonna be your naval base from then on out. And if we see any pirates, fight them off and see till we can capture their ships as a way to expand our navy. While we await for a few things. Sometimes I wish we could increase the export value. Oh, there'll be a day whenever we get more innovations. Which honestly, when I get all these innovations, we should do this. Okay, actually, this is what planning mode is for future reference. And also for planning mode, go for that. I'm looking. Oh yeah, especially this way. The export value, that's where we would make most of our fortune. Come on, forward, commerce. All the way down there. Needs one of. And Adan, for example, may become a world port for us. For oratory in future. Anything to reduce aggressive expansion. And Marshall's kind of like whatever to me at this point. Except maybe whenever we get our legions, then I would start caring. Right now we have levies. And of course you gotta get cohorts, because this is how you raise legions. So whenever you have a law that can be enacted there. If you want that, go down this way. Okay then. Yeah, I think we got it from here. So, let's get moving. Also, we have integrated a culture. The Alatians, which they live on Punt proper. That culture there. It's like, yes, we've beaten them, but we granted them their rights. And with them having it as an integrated culture, this increases the levy size for Punt a bit, which is always good. But I'm sure more will be expanded upon. And knowing that Hadramut's going to break up with us soon, we should look for newer allies. Potentially one of you is going to be the ones to be Saba's new ally, and potentially potential subject. Perhaps you. Human relations. You're allied with Muslim. You, however, also allied with them, which you're also part of a defensive league between each other. Potential ally, but borders distant and you're being attacked. The only part of the coast that's not at war is Apocopa. In fact, before we get moving on a little bit more, look at the heritages just to get to know these nations a bit before they're gone for good. The Mokotans, one of the many city-states which became an independent polity following the collapse of the Macrobian Kingdom. Mundus was larger in size than more periphery and market towns. On the level in its westward neighbor, Malal, the port protected the harbored ships well, but might not have kept their sailors safe since the environment there has been considered quarrelsome. Yet, while imported many goods from all over, Mundus was best known for exporting a unique incense known as Mokotu, which was of better quality than the incense exported by the famous town of Mossilon, owner of the Zava Mossilitic cinnamon. That is a plutocratic republic there. Now, Mossilon is a plutocratic monarchy, which you don't see too many of those in the game. Very, very different. Now, these people here, the peoples of the great trade city of Mossilon, were the masters of the sea. While their land was not abundant in agriculture, they lived off the resources of the sea and trade with foreign empires as far as India and Rome. Goods such as ivory, ebony, wild beasts, medicinal herbs, and gold find their way from the port of Mossilon to the rest of the known world. Now, Aramatya. This is the heritage and spice port there, on the tip of the horn. Set upon the so-called promontory of spices, Aramata, reflected on the modern aromatics, was one of the last in a chain of trading ports leading from the gates of Libya and Arabia to the great Ethiopian Sea. The port itself produced a great quantity of raisins and well-smelling herbs. Yet it was its imports from the Indo cities across the seas which gave it its most prized goods. Much loved were its wide exports of frankincense, as well as the cassia plant, a form of cinnamon, which came from the far east beyond the Indoi themselves. And here's Apollonia, crown of the Horn. Sitting at the tip of the Horn of Africa, Apollonia is one of the most well-known cities of port, connecting trade from India to the Red Sea, Egypt, and beyond. A city-state having found independent rule from the collapse of the Macrobian Kingdom. Apollonia always had been a part of the incredibly rich history of cultural connection. In its graves lies ancient relics of ancient Mycenaeans, as well as goods from all over East and West. For as its own work, it was known to produce the greatest amount of cinnamon of any of the Somalian coastal cities, and it was known for having the greatest quality of turquoise shell wares in its markets. Here's the last one down there. One of the last trade ports before a coastal sailor reaches the small and great cliffs, or the small and great beaches, which signaled the beginning of the area known as Azania. Apocropa existed as a passage point for the ivory and other products of bush elephants. Other goods, such as gold, silver, exotic furs, and the like, also passed through the hands of merchants there. But the lucrative nature of the large tusks and desire to hunt the beast formed strong routes to the consistent imports and transfer for Arabian and Mediterranean markets. See, not only just Arabia Felix area has a fascinating rich history, but so do they. And last but not least, Socotra. The heritage out of this. Surrounded by the battering monsoons and chaotic waters, the island, which the Greeks called the island of the Dioscuri, sits as a world so strange and alien to that of any other, populated with many endemic species such as the dragonblood tree, the sap of which was greatly desired for its medicative properties. The island was a rich trading hub for myrrh, as well as an exotic location for simple observation and wonder. Travelers from among the Greeks, Palmyrines, Arabians, Bactrians, and Ethiopian cities came to this place were taken aback by its beauty and rich natural reserves. It was a meeting place for Western and Eastern merchants, which heavily aided in the beginning of the trans-Mediterranean trade between Indo and Mediterranean peoples. Besides its myrrh, frankincense, and tree sap and aloe, the island was also coveted for its turquoise shells, for even the bellies of the turquoise were thick enough to make tables out of. Despite all these riches, the island remained sparsely inhabited, needing to import grain and wine to feed the farmers. All of this, we covered it, and one day we will expand our influence there, or conquer it for ourselves. It's something that has to change, but it depends on what their attitude is towards us. That's a stratocratic monarchy. Autocratic. Plutocratic monarchy. I think you would be more amenable to any of them, as far as geography is concerned. But it depends on the trade goods you're all sitting on. Because I would conquer Mundia. They have elephants, and more elephants we can. And who are you at war with? Who started? Oh, Marcelon wants to expand to there. So that means they're going to get the spices. Down there too, despite the distance between us. Oh, and who could forget Bavaria? Although they don't have, well, they do have incense and myrrh. But that would be going further inland, since we only hold two parts of Bavaria. But it doesn't hurt to get more of it. Especially they have these. Now, who are the barbarians? They're a federated tribe. The fertile plateau just south of the frankincense coast of Puntland is formed by several river wadis and natural lakes, provided a home for many tribes and their villages. Barbaria was a generalization from Mediterranean about diverse groups who lived in the hinterland of the many trading ports, and these people often provide much of the manual labor for the incense production, as well as packing and transport of goods heading to port or farther into the interior, where powerful chiefs ruled with large treasure holds. So this is the rest of Bavaria. They also hold a bit of Eliphas, which I'm sure that's probably translated as land of the elephants or something, or anything at all. I mean, there's stuff there. There is elephants, and I do have grain, which is uncommon. In fact, look, there's hardly any grain over there. This is the only area with it. That could be useful. And they got 2 forts. It's tempting. But we have no casus belli over, over all these areas. So what do you say if you were to become besides aggressor, like ally, then tribal vassal? That could take a long time. Obviously, the religion over there is not Arabic, it's Swaki. What's that there? Divine spoon. This spoon is the holiest spoon known to man. Any person who eats with it, is said to touch God himself. This is a character artifact. It only has effects on characters when transferred to them with character interaction. I gotta have that spoon. What does this do to you? Doesn't add any to his statistics. Except that man is a pyromaniac. We gotta bring down that holy site, then take that spoon. But don't fabricate a claim of it just yet. The aggressive expansion is too high, and we don't have the manpower to support an expeditionary war to Bavaria. Just to conquer for a spoon. Not to mention the incense and the myrrh to our collection. After weeks of nervous looks and smirks at court, the whispers circling the palace have finally reached the ears of the Malik. It seems that someone's been spreading rumors and spinning yards of his unequal privileges and unfitness for the throne. The damage has been done, but now all look at how the Malik will deal with the situation. Well, let's be fair. I'm a man of no charisma, so no one can freely assault the Malik. So I might become vengeful, 50% chance, or 50% chance that nothing happens. An investigation into the source of the rumor will be conducted. Didn't become vengeful. Governor of Punt, watch out for him. Well, he doesn't have an artifact. It's housed in that holy site in there. It has come to our attention that our trusted advisor, Qataba, has been siphoning funds from our treasury into his own pocket for some time. The disappearance of monies collected from across Saba eventually aroused suspicions, which, combined with eyebrow-raising extravagances such as extremely flattering statues of Qataba being erected, could not be written off as mere coincidence. Abuses of this kind surely must not be tolerated, lest the entire state apparatus becomes a charade for personally enriching vain aristocrats. The civic punishment is, however, up for debate. He is the Rab Khan. The Rab Khan is the monarch's high priest and directs religious sacrifices, festivals, and interpretations of the gods' will. I don't need more corruption than it already is. That's personal wealth. But no, the money must go to the nation. So he has forfeited his position. I'm reminded. Remember those people that came over? Those foreigners we brought in? What are your skills? You got statesmanship. You were one of the Adites, conquered by Hadramut, and you came to here. Okay, for once, I'll give you citizenship. You'll have a place in the office. You'll be the Rab Khan. You'll do. Better Roman power. When called upon, of course. The traitorous snake who attempted to demean the name of Khalib Hazragi has been identified none other than Sufyan Saba, who quickly confessed his crimes. How should we deal with this vagabond? Well, I'm not a vengeful man as I may think so. He's got a very weak power base, but he's got charisma. He's the, well, that position is, this is the monarch's court philosopher who supervises libraries and the gathering and production of knowledge. You have low zeal skills also, I'll say, forget him. His reputation is ruined. Cannot dismiss the character loves. Well, you should have done it beforehand. Crud. If you want to get rid of him, you got to put that man on trial, but you have a standard success chance of that happening. Maybe I ought to give him free hands. Make him stay loyal to us. And then replace him. You know what? Do that. Here, use free hands and get out, because we need someone better at this job. But do we have another foreigner? This is good. What's your statesmanship? Not good enough. Okay, he gets free hands. If he becomes too corrupt, we'll bring him into trial when that time comes. turrets are on the move, but they're not active. Keep an eye on them. You never know, they'll become hostile. They're just neutral right now. Not anxious about the Civil War. Well, you broke up with us, and you're planning my demise is the reason why you refuse to ally with us again. Because we're competing powers now. You've become bellicose. And the truce between us will last 5 years. That'll buy us some time. Well, Monsignor, well, it looks like he might be our potential friend. Border distance is an issue. See, that's the problem, because I'd like to have client states, but everybody's at war, beating each other up. But please remember, if you were to fight a war, that means you gotta fight these two, because they're all part of a defensive league. My idea was to get them off the defensive league by, first, ally with them, befriend the ruler, improve relations, and then get them in as a client state. Therefore, out of the defensive league. So I can pick them apart bit by bit. That's my idea. Colonize. That's down in point, especially there. But don't do that right now. That costs manpower. You know, we could colonize our way to there, but what the hell for? What do they have to offer? Wood. Let's look at it. I mean, I've always wanted more wood. And there's a bunch of livestock. That'll definitely feed. Looks like they've won their war. So in 5 years, we'll fight Hadramat. While meanwhile, mine has expanded. Perhaps we should take advantage of that situation in the future. Because remember that other part of the mission. Get this, but they must not own any territories. In other words, even if we take that city's main objective, but the nation itself must not exist. Go as far as up there. Because because that revolt is spreading. Which we have to assume their main army is up there, while the rebels are just scattered somewhere. Yeah, they're up there. I'm sure they're real exhausted on manpower. An ally to us. Look, you're the one that made us, and you got no friends to support you. And you're the one that's responsible for the destruction of the Arabic holy sites up there, especially in Mecca. Basically, they're responsible for a lot of sins. This custom dictates the eager yet politically experienced Saba has approached us in asking our formal patronage. Such a request carries few practical duties, but increase this understanding of him among his peers. Such a benevolent action may also ingratiate us with the Sabaean elite. You don't like me well enough. Plus you're that xenophobe. So I'll say, alas, we must be somewhat busy washing our hair. I'll gain a bit of finesse, which is always good. Ah, there's the rebels. They don't have good generals. Hardly anything to trade out there. Well, we will fight you one day. We're just waiting for the aggressive expansion to go down more and manpower to go up bit by bit. There's our farming settlement. All you need is number of goods produced greater or equal to 3. There's 2. There's 2. To do that, the slave number is 8. All it needs is 10 more. We can move a few around. But bear in mind, it also costs you money. 150 gold for this. Several nights ago, Qataba was discovered helping himself to a sizable quantity of gold from the National Treasury. This is clearly a serious crime, however. But there is something to be said for sweeping affairs like this under the carpet. He's Qataba. That is the monarch's royal tutor, oversees the education of children of the ruler and important nobles of the court. You've lost the money. Have him flogged. How dare you? We were saving that money for something else. You know, there is another way to get more slaves and put them in the capital. Why do we raid for it? Yes. This navy can raid up to 2 adjacent ports with slaves if they are protected by fewer than 2 fortress levels have a population of about 5. And doing those will cause a bit of aggressive expansion, and there's no point raiding. Yeah. We should consider slave raiding in future. But for now, keep it with boarding tactics because we need more ships. Should we ever encounter pirates again on our shores. Hold it right there. Glad I caught that. I'll gain a tiny bit of corruption for this, but I need you on my side. Because you're the best warrior out of all of us. Our extension of new privileges and investments into the local infrastructure has seen Oculus grow from relative humility into a true hieratic city. While it still has somewhere to go before it can rival the great cities of our age, the past 2 years have ushered in a new era of growth and urbanization in this territory. So this has become these are the best of times. This becomes a city. And same for Musa and Emporium. At least they're built on the plains. Especially here with the spices. But that provincial loyalty thing is still going to be an issue in the long run. And this is the main army. Get it? Yeah, they got good people on. But we should wait until the next election. They're a plutocratic republic. Hopefully they appoint someone that isn't good of martial. My wife's been murdered. Ugh. Best one you got. Plus 37. Qataba summoned us to investigate. After far too long alone, he decided to extend an offer of marriage to the charming young woman Hobart of the Asaragid dynasty. The envoy delivered the proposal, however, reports that he barely made it out alive after Hobart flew into a great rage, hurling a mace with great accuracy and nearly decapitating him. It seems Oban considers our suggestion of great contempt. May need to sweeten the deal by increasing the size of the dowry. Yeah, it's a hard bargain. Every penny. That money should be going elsewhere. Here's our opportunity. But if you want to make it a client state, this one's going to be in Virgin Civil War. I'm looking at base. This one's a little bit easier to please, so let's have an alliance turn us. Loyal generals. The admiral of ours be loyal. Nothing else you can import other than livestock, but we already have enough of it. We got a lot of work to do to improve relations with you. And are you in good health? Infection. You'll make it. I believe in you. This primary heir here wants to become a tyrant. Oh, you don't want to do that. But as I look at you, you've got plenty of zeal. Well, what we need more of is martial. Because you see, your old man here is never good at this sort of thing. But hopefully you'll be just as able than I would ever be. Pay attention. Our royal tutor has been summoned to educate the reluctant young Palik in the manner of our choosing. The nature of the tutor is most important indeed, so we should choose the attendant to which is subject carefully. Because he's lazy, he's paranoid, he's cautious. Well, he's none of these. I'm just looking. Well, none of his personality traits seem to affect that. And he's not corrupt. So, give him a martial education. Want him to be a great warrior. There's a chance to give him martial, low chance of getting 2, while low chance of losing charisma, finesse, and zeal. And when the ambition is fulfilled, he'll gain a random military trait, which is an additional to martial. Whereas for you, what trait do you have, person? Vengeful. and you are loving. With 3 sons. Looks like it's going to be pretty over soon up there. Hi! We got pirates. Oh, Hadramut was taking care of those. Actually, Hadramut got beat. They didn't have the morale. But we do. They got a better dice roll over us. We got a better dice roll than them. But we didn't lose any of our ships, but we did capture a galley. Excellent. That was hard fought. Get in there. Actually, over here, it's much closer to port. We'll just try to repair everything. Y'all took a beating. In the midst of the fall season, Malik Qataba, one of our most esteemed governors, held a vast and lavish party in his summer palace at Isis. Even his most loyal subordinates were shocked by his display of contempt for the plight of the common man, and have written directly to us, demanding some manner of justice served. Well, he's our best man for the marshal, but I'll just say, commoners are not our problem. I'm willing to take the popularity hit in the name of his loyalty. Yes, another galley to our collection. The Minion Civil War is finally ended. So their total number of territories is 40. But if we want to fight, we need to take this, as this is part of Arabia Felix. But we could also go further, because there's this other mission part. Northern border in Nemera, which is over here, part of Taifa. And I guess we ought to consider taking Arabia Maritime as well. Though there's no cities there. We're not in range of diplomacy, but I would love to help you out. How many ships do they have? 1. Could blockade them easily. Because I view them more threatening than Hadramut. Says need to take all this and then make our way northwards and expand all the way up there, and we'll be neighbors with Samud. Take a big chunk of Arabia, and that would mean I will get to appoint the governor of Arabia, and therefore we get more levies from a part of Arabia. That would be ideal. Well, that time's not come yet. Not yet. Wait, 4 months. This is a Seleucid Navy. Over to there. They do have access to the Mediterranean. Still at war with what's left of the Antigonids. No way we'll make it in a client state, but whenever their defensive league ends, I'll be most willing to. Okay, what happens if we were to? They would rather serve them over me. But Civil War's about to break out, so maybe we should take advantage of their situation. One would think, right? We had our disagreements, but there's room for friendship. Keep your eye on Mundia. This might be a place of interest. It'll likely break out. See if we can get ahead of time with this. Get me forces from Punt. Sets. Go to there. No, to here. Make your way here. We're only taking the levy of Punt and deploy them here. Just a little quick trip. Want to see what happens. It starts in June. No Civil War? Oh no, there it is. It's an internal affair. War of Outcasts, Bala, what are you talking about? We have a claim on that area, but I guess we don't do that with revolts. But nevertheless, come pick us up and drop us off here, because remember, we're still considering of fighting a war against them, since they're kind of weakened from being fighting against Thamud and the civil war that they had just now. So I think the time would be right to deploy our forces here. On board. Land here. Just get to your starting positions. We're actually going to go ahead with this plan. This way. Let's go. subsequently blockade. So yeah, we're gonna have a go-ahead. We're only doing this because of a few things that we're gonna do. Expand irrigation network, capture us a few slaves, bring them here, and spend some money, whatever we can get from looting Karna and a few other cities for us. And plus need Nashak, which is where we need to expand the mines there. And of course there's two areas that needs to be taken where the Israelites live there. Well, let's do it. Our main objective is take Arabia, Felix, Ostentalis, which is over there. And that city of Karna is actually one of the centers of trade of the region. Don't call Macedon in. They've been through enough. We can handle it ourselves. Maybe. Actually, move over here a bit. I just had a second thought. The Council of Malao sent an envoy proclaiming that harvests, trade, taxation have all produced a huge surplus this year. In a splendid show of national spirit, they decided to offer the additional income to the state. Perhaps you could let them spend the money for their own use, however. You know we're gonna get money by other means, right? Through war. So give it to the merchants of Malao, so Sabaean citizens will appear there. They used to live there, but now they appear here. It only has a fortress and 2 ports. Again, I kind of need them over here for support. So don't start just yet. Barbarians decided to have a claim on us. But if you attack us, you'll regret it. Up the morale of armies. Switch places. Let's do that instead. Switch places, and then here's the deal. I'm gonna move my army there, take this city, which I'll get the gold from it, and then we'll take Karna, which no doubt they'll deploy the best army through there. We don't know when the election is, but that man's still gonna be around. Don't colonize until a later time. Ready? Alright, let's go for it. Don't call your ally in. Head straight for Karna. I'll go to Yatu. Qataba. We'll catch him. Our side might win. They have a stronger army, but we have a better general, but it all depends on the tactic. what we got here. See, that's good. We got slightly better roll. Still even. Doing good. Hold on. Need support here. Because, you know, being slightly outnumbered and everything. Let the men roam freely. Oh, this is gonna kill us. Just hang on. Light infantry can last longer in a fight. Reinforcements will arrive in 10 days. Just hang on for 10 days. We're retreat. Hold on. We're coming. We're coming. We're coming. We're here. Sorry about that. It's just we were in a looting mood. And but please remember, there's a far better, you know, enemy out there. Yeah, I do apologize for this. Also, we gotta besiege this place. They're threatening to build a fortress. Like, if we don't take it soon, then the process will take longer. We'll have to split up our levies just like last time. So, let's do it. Split. Okay. We'll stay here. You go with me. We'll siege it down here, and the rest of you will do the work. Got the breach already. Good start. Coming. Water storage. We're making great progress in this siege. Oh, that's why. There's a lack of food. If you have a lack of food, then the effects of this siege for the capital, because the years of food supply and all that, is definitely going to lower it, I believe. Not to mention it's been ravaged by civil war. Check back again. Take that hill. Stay up there. Supply storage. By next month they'll be out of food, and this will fall quicker. We got him. Roam freely. Move up. This way. This one's got a port. Meet up with you. Take this, and all this will be yours except for Maka. Take Durash, and this will be yours. So stick with the hills. Proceed with caution. We'll catch up with you soon. This one's got a stronger general, but they're a smaller force. Oh, found their ship and we sunk it. capture their admiral. Yeah, we stopped them from building their second fortress. We'll engage him. He'll go up there. Just need to let him run for a while. Taif is their capital, the provincial capital, so it'll be a while until we get there. Up we go. The ongoing war has taken up most of the attention of Malik Khalib as he leads armies into inevitable victory. While Saba does have the bureaucratic momentum, there are many issues that await the capable hands of the legitimate monarch. In the absence of the Malik, Consort Hubat has taken on some of his responsibilities and doing her best to address the most pressing concerns. Commendable. Alright. So as long as Khalib remains either a prisoner or a general, while Saba's at war, Hubat will attempt to assist our country. Glad I married the right woman. And it was the only option, to be fair. Get up there! Consort Hubat has decided to put her considerable ministry of experience to good use of a scheme designed to reassure the disgruntled cities in Avash. The settlement of Yoboki is particularly vocal in its concerns, arguing that they've repeatedly been ignored and passed over in favor of the capital and the other provinces. With the Malik indisposed, the consort has drawn up a plan to fund the expansion of Yoboki to ensure its future prosperity and assure the locals that the ancient rights and importance of the municipality will not be dulled by time or ill fortune. Every little bit of political influence is precious to me, but by all means, go ahead. They're heading to Kama, and we'll be going down there too. Will we engage them? Or no? We'll engage them here. We'll likely win. They have a higher morale than ours and better quality than ours. We shall see about that. They're a smaller army, but we have the numbers. We have the discipline. We got them all. Look, we're quite far away from stabilizing the kingdom to get to reform the army part, which requires that military experience, but I believe it would be wise to start with this. Arabia Felix. Commonly misunderstood to mean happy, the name Felix stressed the fertility of South Arabia. The name was given by Greeks and Romans because of the area's pleasant climate and great wealth in agricultural products, incense, and spices. Well, our triremes, or galleys, will now have a better offense. And we have much more better enslavement efficiency. And we have the ability to slave raid. Like if we're in the need of slaves to, you know, see if we can make more of our, like say, spices, incense, and myrrh. We know where we can get them from. Go for it. Need to take Taifa. Up you go. What's the naval range? Well, we're almost out of that range, so actually stay put. Can't send you that far away from here. So, stop moving. Go to here. See where they'll go from here. Our side might lose. This requires our combined strength. Up we go. As I stated, this requires our combined strength to beat them up. Don't let them get away. Word has arrived that this year's harvest was exceptionally good in the territory of Magia. Whilst the merchants may be holding their heads in their hands, the people rejoice at the plummeting price of bread. We know where we can get our money from, so the people should rejoice. This is due to having an advisor with high statesmanship, like him. So we're on the right path, because in order to stabilize the kingdom, we need more stability. Lots of it. And these little events here is a way to get them. Didn't think I'd see you there. You shouldn't be doing that. You should focus on religious studies. Not to keep an eye on you, boy. Because one day you're going to be an issue. What counters shock action? Oh, that contributes very little. Stick with the same tactic, but we're going to use the greater numbers against them. Even though we're fighting in their terrain. Come on, get up here. Need your help. That got him. Head to here. Take Taifa. Because we know they're going to be retreating back up north. We're at the point where we just killed off our manpower again for greater gain. That happens sometimes. Should use this money to, you know, get ahead of time. Mines. Build one here. And the other is in Haraz. Need a bit more gold for this. But as I said, just gotta get ahead of time. Future site of the fortress there. A wandering wise man. out of the obscure countryside of Anjadaya in Punt, an exceptional traveling wise man spread. Apparently it's been reaching some of the locals of a warped version of our own faith, turning some of those who previously not believed in the Arabic pantheon. As people's faith is already changing, this could be a good opportunity to restore their own authority in the area, though it would be an expensive effort. The gods hold only one truth. More stability. Good. You had them left. 10 more left, and then, even though we're about to get a lot of aggressive expansion after this is over, but need to keep an eye on that. I'm willing to take this, and then that'll be it. Don't want to expand too deep in it. Nabatea just finished off what's left of Thamud. And undergoing a civil war. We'll engage them up here. We'll finish them off. Got them all. Let's take this land. Stand by. '93 war score. That's enough. Don't want to gain too much land. Wish I could release the nation, but there aren't any nations to release. Actually there is. Oh, that's Kindle. That's way too much. Ah, yes, that area too. Even though the nation must not exist, but I'm sure someone else will take care of them. Like either Nabatea or Leon to start fighting them before we face them as well. Until this no longer exists. That's all I care about. So leave Arabian Maritime alone. That's too much for us. And I'm gonna have to switch to appeasement to get rid of this aggressive expansion quickly. Have our governor of Arabia. She'll be with this man. Controversial move, but it'll do. So now it's a snake of a land, but I would most certainly ally with you just to finish them off whenever we take care of me. But in the meantime, switch to peace stance for faster aggressive expansion decay. And it would make our allies and the opinion of others within our diplomatic range a little bit more better. But right now we're too far away from any of that. Well, that was the family head at 84. And also may have a civil war in their hands. But right now, there are many Israelite enclaves that are scattered throughout Arabia, Felix. Soon Saba will rule over each and every one of them, which we do. This will take a year to complete. So we'll hear about them in a year. Look at all of you. But this is not complete, because it must not own any of the territories, and that's up to you people up north. And I'll be willing to finish them off if I wish to take the coast, unless one of you is gonna get it. At least we have the range now. Oh yeah, planning. Okay, for the Freeman. We do have range with the Ptolemaic Kingdom. That's excellent. Murdered. I've been informed that Saba was found brutally murdered in his home just last night. Investigators reported that a honed sword was used in a crime, a device known to be feared by Rabshams Hazaragi. However, we have no hard evidence to link him to the crime. Regardless, we should be watchful. He's a researcher. Travesty. We are powerless to act. Do nothing about it. Keep your mouth shut. As he was delays of decision. You are wise. And every little bit helps. Especially with those of high statesmanship. Despite the fact we fought each other, you're still willing to trade with us. My Malik, we have bad news to share today. It seems that some arsonists have been at work. There have been a massive fires in the markets of Mariaba. They barely managed to put out before they spread. Thankfully, not too many lives were lost, but the inhabitants of the capital are already seeking to scapegoat this incident. And there are ugly rumors spreading that the Israelites that live among us started a conflagration, and mobs are starting to form to burn sections of the town. I do need more political influence. Tyranny isn't always the answer, but it does lower aggressive Damn! I'm trying to think. Again, this will influence the perception of our handling of the Israelite population, which will ultimately make enforcing policies in another direction harder. So, choose wisely. Think wisely. I could get popularity by other means. I used to be not popular at the beginning. So I'll just say, accidents happen, as everyone knows. Disperse the crowds. And there's a good reason of why more of this. Because of this. might need this in future. Oh. We also got two things, since they're both incarnate. Libero, the goddess Auza. The sacred Baito dedicated to Auza, goddess of might, protection, and love. One of the three chief goddesses of the Arabian religion. And there's the Black Stone. The origin of this black stone is unknown, but has been worshipped in the Kaaba in Arabia for longer than anyone can remember. Some say it once fell from the sky and has been often associated with fertility rituals. Wish I could store them in there. Even though, yeah, this holy site belongs to someone else. Yeah, this one. That's for building costs and wages. So they're the ones that, you know, looted Mecca and the other holy site and brought their treasures over there. For future reference, put them over here. All grown up now, huh? Let me see you. 7, you're better than me. He's confident. He's vengeful and confident. That's who he is. He'll be my successor in no time. Incendiary slave speaks of Amran. A hot-headed slave with a talent for oration by the name of Wata would stir up his fellow bondsmen in the settlement of Amran. The local authorities have so far managed to keep the situation under control, but the brazen fool continues to hold forth on the corruption and unfairness of the political system, with Caleb Hazragi receiving honorable mentions. The slave population of the entire province of Saba has by now heard of these exploits, and the city elites and slave owners are demanding immediate action to ensure the status quo is not disturbed further and any slave rebellions crushed before it can be allowed to ferment. Ah, here's the way to get my popularity back up. And a bit of tyranny as well, which that amount of tyranny equals faster, slightly faster, aggressive expansion being lowered. So round up the troublemaker and his supporters and crucify him. Yeah, the province of Saba will not be happy with that, or what we just did. Larceny in an Israelite community. Representatives from the Israelite communities sent a petition to Khalid Asragi demanding that guards be posted throughout their settlements. It seems that some of our Sabaean kinsmen has been violating the property rights of their Hebrew neighbors, stealing animals, furniture, and even slaves. Anything and everything can be carried away as a target. Some firebrands in the Israelite communities stir up the locals, proclaiming that there is no such thing as justice in Saba, and that they will have to band together to protect themselves. The Israelites have dragged before us a thief that they claimed was caught red-handed stealing grain, which of course the man denies. Let me see. Yacht Hill building has been... That's up there. Random building's been destroyed. Would that be the forum? Or it already happened and I wasn't paying attention? money's always good, but I have other means of income. So, and I do need more political influence, just much as I can to get higher and higher and higher, and then I will start making divine sacrifices just to try to get more stability until we reach 65, and things will be easier from there. So I'll say the law is law, and the thief must be punished. And we're supposed to get another mine, right? Yeah. And Haraz Ashak doesn't have a mine. By the way, how old are you? Not me. I'm in my 40s. I'm talking to you. Not me. You. How old are you? 32. Since you are the guardian of this country, basically. I ought to give you this inspiring commander. So now he has 11 marshal. And while our future war against Hadramut, we're going to call upon you again. And they're about to undergo a civil war here. Prominent Israelite murdered. Terrible news that threatens the peace within our communities. One of the most preeminent members of the Israelite community, a local citizen that Qataba once met at a banquet, was found lifeless in his villa, his broken body covered in lacerations and stab wounds. A few moments later, the blood-soaked youth of the Hazraga tribe was found hiding in a nearby well, causing even more indignation. Not only was that beloved personality slain, but the local water source has been ritually contaminated. The Israelites are demanding justice for their slain compatriot, which is putting Caleb in a predicament. Son of a beeswax! Tribesmen killed. Tribesmen, who cares about that? We're monarchy, not tribal. Huh! That's a lot of money! The more tyranny you have, the loyalty of characters goes down, and the whole, idea of civil war might be a real possibility if you're not careful. But honestly, just turn over the futures of the Israelites and let them handle it. Again, I need more political influence. Just more, and then, ideally, I would like to have 150 to do this 3 times, and then we'll get up to 6 of my stability in no time, because I'm all about stability these days. Civil War, right? Okay. It's defensive war. The least we can do for you is to, units in ocean or river territory. Ocean, river. This... say, put them over here as an example. Because we know about our enemy. Oh, hell. What are we doing out here? That's the middle of the storm. You're in the middle of a damn storm. See what happens. Two adjacent ports, if they're protected by two fortress cells, have a population of about 5. They're too scattered out. Stormy seas, taking attrition. Yeah, we should not be out here. Go back. What are we doing? Street fight. We received reports that the Sabaean tribes that live in Israelite communities have been fighting with them, with the potential for violence threatening to spill out of control. It appears that the religious arguments turned into a pitched battle in the streets. The Jewish faithful were heading to their synagogue when rocks were thrown, and then clubs and swords made an appearance. There have been deaths on both sides, with many hot-headed youths threatening to avenge their fallen comrades. We have to do something. Okay, this has no effect, so let me try to think it over. Live apart? Support my people? Or support them in the name of peace? Been trying to be fair on all this, but knowing him, since he's extravagant, he's crafty, and wise and stressed. After all, he did have an argument with a xenophobic person. So, he would say, we must support the Israelites in the name of peace. And maybe perhaps some monetary opportunities may come of it. And him being a greedy, corrupt bastard and everything, he would just use anybody and anything. That's part of him being wise, is it not? So we'll support that in the name of peace. He sees usefulness in everybody, regardless of whose religion or culture that they belong to. That's what I think of him personally. He's an opportunist. Not to mention wishes to see this kingdom to be stable. Yeah. Over the past few months, Qataba has his hands full with the Israelites that live in Saba. But then, now the time has come to make a permanent decision regarding the future in our kingdom. What do we do with our settlements? Oh boy. That's a lot of money. So they could go to Judea, while they may not like us in return, but I'm wondering what that effect would do to this mission, because that would be interesting. Oh, but monthly stability change for the next couple of years. Get the aggressive expansion lowered, and I mean that would help. But my real issue with that is all that political influence we're building up would be all for naught. Oh boy. So, if we must tolerate the presence among us, then that's how it shall be. For the next 5 years, I mean, at least people in this country will be a little more happy and add some stability change. And I do want stability. So, give it that. As much as I would like to have more money, but you know, there are other means to get other rewards, right? Such as this in future. Kingdom of Solomon. The tales of King Solomon, said to be the wisest man that ever lived, have not been forgotten by the Sabaean nation, who harbor a fondness for his esteemed rule in his dynasty. This will take 2 months to complete, so we'll try to get into contact with the descendants of Solomon and his kingdom. Recently, some Israelites started to trade with the Hebrew kingdoms in the north. They've become quite rich in doing so. Seeing this, some of us suggested reaching out to the kingdom officially, intended to secure a piece of the profits of the valuable trade that's starting to grow. Some advisors also see this as another opportunity to find a friend in this world of danger and deceit, as suggesting the alliance of the northern kingdom. Most interesting is the Israelite religion. However, it seems so tantalizing. Maybe they could help us with that. In any case, the second envoy is a moment that we cannot pass up. And this is, Solomon David, a Hebrew Israelite. Way back in the day. But, I did mention this, we need to get more money by their means, but profit's all that matter. I told you, Khalib is an opportunist, and this is something they could pass up. So, this can lead to more money being made through trade, and I do want more money to build the mines and a few other things. Profit's all that matter. Give me it. Mine's complete. Build another one. And then we gotta have another one of this future. Depends on how much we're gonna earn after this. The answer. I'm sorry to tell you that our attempt to establish trade connections in the north was declined, with no real satisfactory answers given to us. At least our hosts were generous with their time and hospitality, and they really truly wish us the best of time. I care not. I wasn't being serious anyways. Get a... No, that's someone else. Like, whoever's representing him just says, no thank you. What? Look at this! More stability. We're getting up there. Well, that was all in vain with this, but... oh well. At least this completes this part, which will lead to Kingdom Rising. Which is why we need to go down this way. And then eventually work on this. Apparently the previous owners in mine were building another city there. But to be real honest, this is the worst place to build a city in. It's got wild game. You can revoke the city, which makes it tyrannical. Make do with what you can, alright? More stone. Reduce building costs, that's good. Well, now, look at you now. Reduced money, reduced political influence. You gained some territories while trying to get rid of aggressive expansion. And I know in future we'll have to fight against Hadramut. I mean, I wasn't sure how to. Yeah, you did pronounce it correctly. It's just sometimes my pronunciations of areas that are foreign to me can be a bit off of me. So for now, until the aggressive expansion is lowered all the way to less than 5, and continue to get lucky with the increased stability, we can finally stabilize the kingdom. And one of these days, I'm going to have to get the 2 heads of the family in line with me, and we'll form a competent administration. And somewhere down the line, form the army as well. But there's still plenty of tasks for me to do. Costs less to change Pantheon deities should we ever defeat them. Idea. How old are you? Look at you. You got charisma. What's my corruption? 27. Still going down bit by bit. It's the best you could do. And you know there are other means to get rid of corruption faster. Call on Shams. It's only about a couple of months, if not a year away, because we're not going to be at war anytime soon. Important ones, at least. Yeah, we need to get rid of more of this corruption, and then things will get easier for me as far as gaining more of the influence, and try to get lucky with the increased stability. And also in our next episode, we're going to get a couple of innovations. That'll be coming up soon. And then we'll go for the one that has great temples, and then get that. In a staggering display of incompetence, it seems that Governor Mahadil has mismanaged the states of the province of Asir to such a degree that there are reports of food shortages across the area. Seems the fool tried to introduce a novel system of irrigation without any knowledge of agriculture, ruined most of the harvest. God bless it, man. Clap him in irons. His assets will come at a cost. Idiots. Polymath. Zones. Got a bit of corruption, but it'll go down in time, but... Ah, you're the pretender. You're the man for the job. Speaking of which, check your prisons. Here's another way to earn more money. We don't typically do this. Sell them to slavery. But be careful, because that loyalty there, you know he belongs to a prominent family, right? Leave him alone. Too bad we can't sell this person to slavery. Damn, you got me good. You got me good. just when you were getting my hopes up. Hey, how about here? Because I'm still anxious about I want to do some slave raid. I just want to try it out this once. Shipwreck. One of Saba's most prominent merchant traders, Zragi, has appeared before our courtiers. He tells of a huge shipment of exotic fruits which sank beneath the rolling waves on a journey from Adan to Imperius. He beseeches us to cover at least some of the losses in order to preserve the reputation of Sabaean trade throughout the world. Oh, hell. The province of Qataba, local trade investments. You know, Qataba is one of the places where that's going to become more of a center of trade when we develop it more. So, offered to buy up his failing trade empire. So I'm willing to spend a lot on this, because in future, it's going to be a very important province of trade. You know, that's just an import route, but you get the idea. We'll end this episode very soon. We're just trying to experiment with this idea. Can it work or will it not? Five more left till we reach stability 65. Okay, you can slave raid, and you will gain 2 aggressive expansion for this. And we get 2 of those citizens. Like one becomes a slave, and the other is another of their citizens that moves to here. Do it. Just this once. We're just trying something out here. Don't make it a habit of it. Well, now we know where we can get them from. But please remember, we can move slaves around if we want to complete this mission. But we'll have to do that in the next episode. So as we will close the episode on that note. So we hope you people have enjoyed this other eventful episode. And we'll continue to hopefully get some things right. Get more money, get more influence, increase stability, all that and more. We'll see you in the next one. But until then, so long for now.